What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about a challenge that I think many of us face at some point in our lives, and that is, when is it time to find some new connections, maybe a new circle, or a entirely new group of friends? Today, I want to talk specifically about 4 signs that show that you may need to reassess whether your friend group is the right group for you. So, let me make something clear. This is not about being better than anyone. This isn't about putting someone down or being petty. This is about finding the people that will support us in creating the life that we want. Because ultimately, if we don't have that, then it's going to be difficult to feel fulfilled, right? So if this sounds like you, stick with me and listen up for these 4 signs. Sign number 1, there's always unnecessary drama. Now, hopefully, you are not the source of that drama. If that is the case, then the people around you need to find some new circles, but we'll talk about that another time. Let's say that the drama does not come from you, it has nothing to do with you, but somehow you are always involved, you're always pulled in, having to resolve, or you're just around people that love to gossip and talk about other folks. One of the quotes that I live by is, great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, and small minds discuss people. This is what I use to assess what am I doing with my life, with my attention, and how I'm living day to day. And so when I find people that really focus on gossiping and talking about others, to me, it's a representation of a small mind. I only like to interact, or mostly like to interact, with people with great minds who inspire my ideas and help me push forward. And so if you're surrounded by people that are constantly in drama, that are constantly trying to find and create some issue, it may be time to reassess whether that's the right group. Now, there's so much there around wasting energy and disrupting your peace, and being able to context switch to then be able to tackle your goals and work on the stuff that inspires you, right? These unnecessary drama trials just take so much away from us. Okay. And so it may seem small, but it's a very, very critical thing, especially as we get older. Nobody has time for unnecessary fights and BS. All right. So consider that. Sign number 2, you feel drained after interacting with them. Now we're looking at this from a bigger perspective. Let's say you interacted 10 times, and 9 or 10 out of those 10 times you left drained, exhausted, right? Maybe they're dumping a lot of emotional things on you. One, you want to make sure you have a conversation with folks if you can, to like clarify and see if you can create some change. But if nothing shifts, if the folks aren't doing their responsibility, their work to help resolve their emotional issues, then you need to reconsider how much time you're spending around these folks. Again, it's not about not supporting anyone or being better. At some point, we reach a line and a point where helping others is going to take away from our ability to do our own work. And we're all responsible for that. So when we're surrounded by people that don't do their work, ultimately they put that emotional burden on us. And so that's why you're leaving and feeling drained and exhausted, or maybe even taking on their emotions, right? And so when that happens, it takes so much to just get that off of us that it becomes more difficult for us to even find space and time to be joyful or to chase after the things that we've already set our minds to. All right. So think about that. Are these folks draining you, or are they inspiring you? And ultimately, there should be a balance, right? Like, of course, we all deal with stuff and you're not always going to be energized, but hopefully there's a balance there, and there's some folks that you can connect with that ultimately do inspire you and give you some fire. Sign number 3, they cannot support your goals. Now, this may be for different reasons. Perhaps they just can't understand what you're trying to do, or there may be some underlying issues there regarding jealousy or whatever that may be. But if you're feeling like you can't share the things that you're enthused and energized by, the accomplishments, if you feel like you have to dim your light to be around people because it may bother them, maybe time to reassess your friendship group, right? So the people in my circles, whenever they win, man, I get hype. I love it. I love seeing my people win, and it energizes me and make me want to push harder, right? So anytime I'm in a space where I feel like I have to dim myself down, I'm not going to be there long. And I suggest you do the same. If someone forces us to dim our light because they're uncomfortable and they don't do the work to change that, how long can we make ourselves smaller to make them comfortable? Right? That's what it becomes about. And how long before that behavior or that performance of making yourself dimmer becomes just who you are, and your light no longer shines as bright. Think about the fact that if you can't come to people with the goals that you have, that you're excited by, and you know they can't support how to push you forward, then you shouldn't be spending a ton of time with these folks, and you need to find spaces that will. All right. So once again, they cannot support your goals. Now, this could be for various reasons, but we're not thinking about that's not our responsibility. If people can't support our goals and we've had conversations and tried and told them what we need, then it's time to reassess and move in a different direction. Sign number 4, you feel isolated even when you're with them. So perhaps you're with your group of friends, y'all are hanging out, movie night, whatever that may be, but you find yourself still feeling a little bit alone, isolated, misunderstood, maybe even underappreciated, right? A lot of times what may happen is that the folks around us, especially if they've been around us a long time, as we grow and evolve, they may not be able to either keep up or even pay attention to the growth and the evolution that you're doing, right? And so as you change, as your values change, as the things you care about change, they may not be keeping up with that and be able to see that fully. And so you'll start to see it, or you'll start to feel yourself a little bit more distant from your group of friends because the things that you care about may be totally different, right? And so if this is something that you're encountering, it may be time to just find some different circles that can give you that feeling of being seen, so that if you do want to hang out with this other group of friends, you can circle back and bring some good vibes, right? So that's it, y'all. Those are my 4 signs to help you assess whether it's time to make some new connections in your life. We all need the right support in our lives to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. It always feels great to have the right group around us, right? It feels like we can accomplish anything, and that's important. When we feel like that's not the case, or the opposite, like we can't share what we're doing, we can't share the things that we're proud of, our interest, they don't see us, they don't appreciate us, it's incredibly draining and demoralizing, and can take you away from your ultimate purpose and the strengths and gifts that you offer the world, right? And so do your best to surround yourself with great people. I hope that this is helpful. Check out vividvisioncoaching.net for some learning resources, including a goal setting workbook, a successful mindset workbook, as well as a core values workbook that I think could also help you find the right circle of friends. That said, appreciate you staying with me, and much love. Peace.